Hi, I'm here to talk to you about how to diagnose problems with weed eaters before you get started tearing the carburetor apart and replacing fuel lines and doing all this other stuff that might not need to be done. Uh, Sometimes people forget to put their mixed gas into the gasoline can, and they put straight gasoline in here, and they just burn up the engine, and so no amount of carburetor work or fuel line repair or ignition would do anything, because the cylinder is scored or burn up. So a lot of times when you approach a weed eater, the first thing you do is just do a basic compression check, and each time that you pull through, you can see my hand as it is stopping each time it gets compression. Now, if that's good, the next thing you do before you do anything else is you remove the spark plug using a spark plug wrench. It's propped, but it works. And you remove the spark plug, set it down, and move the stuff over in the camera over. Now what you're going to do is take a plastic pin, and you're going to use it to push down the piston all the way down. You can see how the pin keeps going, and then eventually it stops, and then your piston is all the way down to the bottom. Plastic pin doesn't hurt the engine or anything, and it's readily available. And so you're going to push it down. Now the next step, you're going to use a strong flashlight. They make specialized flashlights for this, but a good strong flashlight. And I'm going to pretend to turn this on, and I'm looking down into the cylinder, and you can't see all the cylinder, but you can see a good part of it in most cases. And the part that you can see, if you see any brown color or any scratches or anything like that, then your weed eater is no good. It's really not worth fixing it. You can get them running, but they really don't provide the adjustments on the carburetors nowadays to compensate for the compression loss. And eventually you can get them running, but eventually it'll wear out. I've fixed many of these where they did run, but it only lasted several more hours and then died eventually. So this is real important before you do any work like repairing the pull cords or anything, is just taking a look at the cylinder of the any two-cycle. That includes chainsaws too. So this cylinder looked good, what I could see, and so we'll put this back in. Producer, I need a can of carburetor spray over there, please. And so put the spark plug back in and fasten this spark plug holder. And now the next step we're going to do is we're going to do a test to see if it will run on just a little bit of carburetor cleaner or starting fluids, the stuff that's in these cans. It has this little nozzle, and you would spray some in there. I'm going to pretend to spray some, or actually spray some in there, actually. And then you should, and outside you should be able to, with the ignition on, you should be able to start this thing. It should try to run. Now, if it doesn't try to run, at that point, a lot of times two cycles have let me show you this, the muffler ports are quieted so small that they get clogged. And a lot of times you can find dirt daubers and other things in the muffler, you know, exhaust pipe, so to speak, so it won't start. So always examine that, and then back to if it's won't start when, you know, you just prime it with something that is the starting fluid. All the carburetor work that you could possibly do is not going to change the thing, because if it won't run on a prime, which bypasses the carburetor, it's not going to run if the carburetor is working. So at that point, you can start checking for fire, you know, which is very rare nowadays. Electronic ignition lasts for a long time. It just, you know, make sure your kill switch is on. Would that be backwards? And that's it for diagnosing 2 cycles. And we'll talk to you here in a little bit about how to install a 2-cycle fuel line kit and filter.